Let me ask you something, and be honest with yourself for a moment. Have you ever tried a simple home remedy? Maybe something your grandmother swore by, thinking it was just another old family myth, only to be absolutely stunned by what actually happened. You take it lightly at first, you don't expect anything major, but then the results creep in quietly, almost secretly, and you start thinking, wait, is this really happening? Now, when it comes to garlic and honey at night for 7 straight days, especially for older adults, why is everyone suddenly talking about it? Why is the internet buzzing? And why are so many people quoting Dr. William Li like he just uncovered a forgotten truth about nature? Because something interesting happens when you mix these two simple foods, something that doesn't get talked about enough, especially in the world of senior health. You see, in elderly health, it's not always the big dramatic changes that matter. It's the quiet little habits. The things seniors do without even thinking. What they eat before bed. How their body reacts at night. The subtle shifts you don't notice until you look back and say, hold on, that week felt different. And the thing people forget is this. What works for someone who's 25 or 30 doesn't always work the same way for someone who's 60, 70, or 80. Seniors' bodies respond differently. Their digestion, their circulation, their sleep cycles, their immune system. Everything has its own rhythm. And sometimes a tiny change hits harder than anyone expects. So stay with me until the very end, because the truth about taking garlic and honey at night for a week is not what most people think. In fact, some of the effects might matter more for your parents, grandparents, or even you as you age, than they do for anyone else. We're going to break down the surprising benefits, the overlooked risks, the common mistakes families make, and what Dr. William Li actually emphasizes about foods like these, especially when it comes to senior health and long-term wellness. But before we dive in, I want you to do something simple. Comment below, Golden Health, if you want more helpful senior wellness insights. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to Golden Years Guide, your trusted companion on this journey of elderly wellness and senior health awareness. Key sign number 1, the unexpected nighttime boost in circulation. Now, let's start with something subtle, something most families overlook until someone finally says it out loud. Imagine you have an elderly parent, maybe your mom, your dad, maybe even a grandparent, who's been struggling with cold hands and feet at night for years. You tuck them into bed, you notice their fingers feel chilly, and you think, well, that's just how aging works. You don't question it. You don't investigate it. You just live with it. But then you give them garlic and honey at night for a few days, not expecting much, not hoping for a miracle, and suddenly they tell you, I actually slept warmer last night. And you pause. Because nobody mentioned warmth. They didn't know what you gave them was supposed to do. They weren't expecting anything at all. And that's when you start wondering, is this just a coincidence? Or did something deeper happen inside the body? You see, garlic contains a compound called allicin, and this little molecule is known for enhancing blood flow. It helps blood vessels relax, helps circulation move a bit more freely, and in older adults, where nighttime circulation naturally slows down, this tiny boost feels a lot bigger than it sounds. And then there's honey. People forget honey isn't just sweet. It provides natural glucose, and that gentle rise can trigger mild vasodilation, meaning the blood vessels open up slightly, allowing warmth to spread more easily. For seniors, that difference is noticeable. Aging circulation is sluggish at night. The body cools down faster. The hands, the feet, the legs, they get cold easily. So, even the smallest improvement can make the night feel completely different. But here's where many families get confused. Some think, it's just garlic. It's harmless. It's simple. Others assume, it's natural, so it should work instantly. Why didn't it do anything the first night? Both are misconceptions. Seniors don't respond like younger people. Their metabolism moves at a different pace. Their digestion changes. Their blood vessels react differently. What helps one person in 2 days might take another person a full week. So, if you ever decide to try this, start with a tiny amount. Not a whole clove. Not a large spoon of honey. Just a little. And please, don't give it on an empty stomach if the senior has acid reflux or sensitivity. that can cause more discomfort than benefit. Watch for changes over 2 or 3 nights. The body speaks quietly, but it does speak. And listen, if you're still watching right now, take a second and hit like so this video can reach more families who need this kind of guidance. Now, improved circulation at night is interesting, but it's definitely not the only surprising effect people report. Let's talk about something even more mysterious. Key sign number 2, nighttime calmness and breathing support. Let me tell you about a message we got from one viewer. She said her 78-year-old father had been struggling with shallow breathing at night. Nothing dramatic, just the kind of quiet discomfort older people rarely complain about. She tried giving him garlic and honey before bedtime for a week. On day 5, he told her he felt lighter in the chest. Not healed, not transformed, just lighter, easier, more comfortable. She didn't know whether to believe it or brush it off as coincidence. But she felt something had changed, even if science couldn't explain every detail. And here's where things get interesting. Dr. William Lee often talks about foods that fight inflammation, foods that support microcirculation, foods that help the tiny vessels in the body stay open and responsive. Garlic and honey fall into that category, especially when used together. Garlic can reduce irritation. Honey can soothe the upper airway. And when these two travel through the body at night, they may gently calm down the throat, open up the breathing passages a little, and reduce the microirritations that interrupt sleep. That doesn't mean they cure breathing problems, they don't. And they definitely don't replace medical care. But they can offer a mild kind of comfort that many families never expect. Yet the misconceptions keep coming. Some people think garlic is only for immunity. Others think honey is too sugary for seniors, when really, in very small nighttime amounts, honey can actually help seniors with throat dryness or nighttime coughing. It's all about using it wisely. So if you try this, give warm water afterward to reduce acidity. Avoid honey completely if the senior has uncontrolled blood sugar. And always pay attention to how they breathe at night, not once, but over several days. Patterns matter. And honestly, if this is helpful, why not subscribe right now? Go to the comments and tell us why you wouldn't subscribe to Golden Years Guide. I'm genuinely curious. But breathing comfort is just one piece of the puzzle, and the next point is where things get a little more complicated. Key sign number 3, unexpected digestive reactions. Now here's where things start to split into 2 very different experiences. Some seniors take garlic and honey at night and feel lighter, almost like their stomach loosened up or settled down. But others? They feel the exact opposite. Bloating, gas, restlessness. A little discomfort that sneaks up slowly and shows itself just as they're trying to sleep. And this is where families get confused. 2 people, same age, similar diets, and yet completely different reactions. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How can one tiny mixture create relief for one person and irritation for another? Well, digestion changes as we age. The stomach empties more slowly. Acid production drops. The muscles that once pushed food through smoothly begin to lose strength. So when garlic enters the picture, garlic that naturally stimulates digestion, it can be a blessing or a bother. Some seniors get a gentle nudge that helps things move. Others get irritation because the stomach isn't ready for that kind of stimulation. And honey. Oh, honey can be both soothing and tricky. In tiny amounts, it coats the stomach beautifully. It calms mild irritation. But if the senior's gut bacteria are sensitive or fermentation-prone, the sugars in honey can create gas. Not dangerous, but uncomfortable. But here's the big misconception I hear all the time. Natural remedies don't upset the stomach. Or, honey helps everything. No. Senior digestion is a world of its own. It reacts to things you wouldn't expect. So what can you do? Try garlic-infused honey instead of raw garlic. It's gentler and easier on an aging stomach. Give it right after a light snack, not on a completely empty stomach. And please, if it causes discomfort, stop immediately. Seniors push through pain quietly, but that doesn't mean they should. And do me a favor, comment I agree if you believe every senior's body reacts differently. Your comment helps this video reach more caregivers who truly need this information. But digestion isn't the only reaction that catches families by surprise. The next change is something people rarely expect. Key sign number 4, changes in nighttime energy and sleep patterns. Let me share another story. A family tried giving their grandmother garlic and honey at night. On the very first night, she told them she felt too awake. Not anxious, just strangely alert, like her body wasn't ready to shut down yet. They almost stopped the remedy right there. But they continued for a few days, and by day 3, something shifted. She wasn't waking up 3 or 4 times anymore. She wasn't tossing from side to side. Her sleep actually became deeper, calmer, steady. And the whole family started wondering if the first night alertness was just the body adjusting. The science makes that story a lot less mysterious. Garlic can slightly stimulate metabolism in some people. That mild activation can cause a brief sense of wakefulness. It's not harmful, it's just the body responding to a new pattern. Meanwhile, honey gives a tiny bit of glucose, which can help reduce nighttime cortisol spikes. And cortisol spikes are one of the biggest reasons seniors wake up suddenly at midnight. So yes, the first night or 2 might feel different. But over 7 days, the body often finds its rhythm and settles into a pattern. Still, misconceptions continue. People believe it should work instantly. Others say, if sleep gets worse for a night, stop immediately. But that's not always the right approach. Sometimes the body just needs a moment to adjust. So, here's what helps. Give the garlic and honey about 1 hour before bedtime, not right before lying down. Let the body process it gradually. And don't assess sleep from one night. Observe the pattern for an entire week. And if you've ever tried this remedy yourself, or with a parent or grandparent, share your experience in the comments. Good or bad. Other caregivers learn from stories far more than instructions. Now, the final point is where everything comes full circle. This is the part where Dr. Lee's entire philosophy about food, aging, and the body ties everything together. Key sign number 5. The hidden effects on senior immunity and inflammation. And here's where things get interesting. Because one of the least expected changes caregivers report after using garlic and honey, especially in older adults, is a subtle shift in their immune resilience. Not a miracle, not a cure, but a gentle, almost quiet strengthening that shows up in little ways. A daughter once told us the story of her 72-year-old mother who normally felt drained every time the weather changed. The cold months always hit her the hardest, low energy, sniffles, constant fatigue. But this particular winter, her mother surprised her. After just a week of taking a small mixture of crushed garlic and raw honey, she said she felt unexpectedly stronger, almost as if her body wasn't collapsing under the usual seasonal pressure. Was it the remedy? Was it timing? Was it her mindset? It's impossible to say with absolute certainty, but it was interesting. And it's a pattern families mention more often than you'd think. Not dramatic transformations, just small, meaningful improvements that matter a lot in senior health. To understand why this happens, we look at the science. Experts like Dr. William Lee, whose work revolves around angiogenesis, inflammation control, and the idea of food as medicine, explain that natural ingredients affect the body in more complex ways than we realize. Garlic and honey contain antibacterial and antioxidant properties that can help reduce inflammatory stress, something older adults struggle with far more than younger individuals. But here's the key insight. Seniors don't all respond the same way. Their immune systems operate at different speeds, in different states, depending on medication history, nutrition, chronic conditions, and general strength. So a simple remedy might feel powerful for one person and subtle for another. And that's normal. What's not normal is the misconception people spread online, things like, garlic and honey can replace medication.
Or,
it boosts immunity instantly.
no.
That's not how the body works. And that's not how natural remedies work. The reality is this. Garlic and honey may support wellness, may help the body function a little more smoothly, and may provide a small boost in certain situations, but they do not cure illnesses. They do not override medical advice, and they do not replace prescribed treatments. What they can do is contribute to a healthier overall environment inside the body, especially when inflammation and immune response are part of the challenge. So, what's the right way for seniors to use this combination?
Gently. Consistently.
And in moderation. Use it for a few days, just long enough to feel the supportive benefits without overwhelming the stomach or interfering with ongoing treatments. Pair it with proper hydration, because an aging immune system functions best when the body isn't dehydrated. And remember, no remedy works in isolation. A balanced diet, regular movement, enough sleep, and reduced stress all matter just as much. But before we move on, let me say something directly to you. If you've watched this far and still haven't subscribed,
Why not?
go ahead and comment below. I will subscribe.
Or
Not yet. Be honest. I'll be reading your responses. Now let's bring everything together and talk about what all of this truly means for you and your loved ones. It's not easy watching our parents' bodies change. Some days they're full of energy, and other days, even simple tasks feel heavier for them. So when something as ordinary as garlic and honey seems to make a difference, it can feel like a small spark of hope or a moment of confusion. But the truth is this: understanding how these natural foods interact with the aging body gives you clarity. It helps you move from guessing to truly supporting them with confidence and love. Because when you know why something may help, you stop fearing the unknown. You stop wondering if you're doing enough. You step into a place of preparedness. This isn't about fear. It's not about expecting something bad to happen. It's about awareness, gentle awareness. It's about being proactive instead of reactive. And most importantly, it's about noticing the quiet changes before they become loud challenges. So tonight, just take one simple step. Check in with your loved one. Ask them how they've been sleeping. Ask if their stomach feels comfortable after meals. Ask if they've been feeling warmer, calmer, or more energetic lately. These small conversations create openings. Openings that help you protect them, support them, and understand them in ways you didn't before. Caring for seniors is challenging, emotionally, physically, and mentally. But you are not alone. And sometimes, the smallest habits, the tiniest routines, offer the greatest comfort in their golden years. Little things matter more than you think. And your presence, your attention, your love, those are the real remedies. We've covered a lot today. We explored circulation, breathing, digestion, sleep patterns, and immunity. 5 surprising ways garlic and honey at night may influence the aging body over just 7 days. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these changes have you noticed in an elderly loved one? Has anything in today's video reminded you of something your parent or grandparent experienced? Share it below. I truly read every comment because your stories help guide the topics we cover next. And if you found this video helpful, consider subscribing to Golden Years Guide. This channel exists to empower families caring for seniors, so you never feel lost, overwhelmed, or alone on this journey. Every video is created with one purpose: to help you support the ones who raised you, loved you, and shaped you. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Stay informed, stay compassionate, and I'll see you in the next video.